Hi, hello, and welcome to Diary of a Bold Woman, where we learn how to turn up our shine, reclaim our time, protect our peace, and move with bold intention as we talk about all things self-worth, self-love, self-discovery, and self-leadership, and having the audacity to be awesome even when we do not feel like it. I am your hostess with the mostest, Naomi Cherelle, a creative, a life coach, and all-around busy mama doing all the things and bringing you along for the ride. As per usual, let's have a little recapitulation of our last diary entry. Dear diary, what the hell you gonna say is a self-life? Now, that was a good episode, okay? It was looking at a TikTok trend that I actually have no problem with because, of course, it was not the shiny, perfect, glowy, everything in place social media version, but the real essence of living a soft life. Intentionally choosing to prioritize your peace, honor your joy, and work with your energy as you navigate through the chaos of life. So, where are we going for today? This episode is for every woman who has held everything together with everything she has, be it duct tape, chewing gum, barbed wire, or her very own skin, even when she is falling apart. This is for every strong woman who has had days when she does not want to be strong, but somehow still shouldering the societal or cultural expectations to walk through life like she's Superwoman. So let's fly through this and see what I did there. Let's fly through this because Superwoman can fly. Yeah. Anyway, let's go. Dear diary, I'm not your Superwoman. Superwoman is tired, and she should not be. Okay. When I was planning for this episode, a song came to mind. It's by Karen White. It was released in 1988. Mind you, I'd have been like 2, so clearly the song has done enough rounds for me to hear it at an age where I can actually retain it into memory. So, the song was about a woman who is clearly tired of feeling unappreciated by her man. Okay, she is making sure his meals are ready, prepped, making the effort to spend time with him, and he's basically just like, yeah, and get out of my way. Do you know what I mean? Very dismissive of her. So her response is, I am not your Superwoman. I am not the kind of girl you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, boy. I am only human, okay? Now, granted that this song is about relationships, but, life can feel like that sometimes, am I right? Okay. So, the world expects women to be Superwoman 24/7. But, superheroes have teams, gadgets, superpowers, and secret identities. We have, what we have? School runs, deadlines, emotional labor, and family group chats. It just doesn't compare. It does not compare. So, where does Superwoman come from? Let's take a wee look at the myth of Superwoman. So the myth of Superwoman, what do you think when you picture a Superwoman? Someone with powers, someone who's strong, reliable, a hero, has some kind of weakness but always manages to overcome, the one that saves, not necessarily the one that needs saving, right? So culturally, black and brown women especially have been raised to be strong, yeah. This has its advantages because in the midst of struggle you find ways to persevere, but one of the drawbacks of the expectations of the strong is that you're expected to be strong all the time. If you've ever watched Encanto, the strong girl, Luisa Madrigal, was on the verge of a mental breakdown because her family and a community relied on her strength. But when she started to feel weak, she felt like she could no longer continue. She just didn't feel like she had a purpose anymore. Her self-worth was basically tied into her ability to be strong, tied to her strength, tied to people counting on that strength, right? But the problem is, right, when you are expected to be strong, there's no room to be weak. You shoulder everything, you bottle it up until you reach breaking point. Oh, locks, listen. So I've been the bigger girl, like big tucking size now, during my school days, and I was awkward with it. I didn't know how to carry myself. I felt clumsy, felt in the way, and I was also put off by the attention I was getting from grown men. I was a little girl in my mind and everything, do you know what I mean? I didn't look the part, okay? I was still a child, but I didn't look it, right? So I felt like I've never really had a chance to be dainty, vulnerable, or princessy. Every movie I've watched, the damsel in distress would just never be a character I could play. Maybe the villain, or maybe some big, strong background character. Hey, couple that with being raised to be independent, not a bad thing. Raised to be strong, also not a bad thing. But not knowing how to ask for help, not knowing how to navigate through failure, not knowing how to be vulnerable, yo, that takes a toll, okay? And then we have mothers. Mothers have a world of expectations to be strong when mentally, physically, emotionally we're exhausted. The responsibility tied to raising these little humans is immense. There is no manual. And a lot of the time we're just winging it. Let's be honest, guys, we're just winging it, okay? But somehow there's expectation after expectation after expectation to be met as a mother. How we should bounce back in these bodies after birth, how we should look and dress, how we should feed our children, dress our children, what activities they should be involved in, how many children we should have, how we need to be available for our children, so stop working, and how we need to provide for our children, so keep working. Like, literally, what? Make it make sense, okay? When you think about the skill set required to keep this up, trust me, mothers are full well qualified to be rulers of vast kingdoms. But for the most part, we just want our children to be healthy and listen to us, okay? And occasionally get to drink our tea while it's still hot. Do you know what I'm saying? So whether culturally or whether portrayed by the media, Superwoman is not supposed to break, okay? So why is this harmful? It robs women of the chance to be vulnerable when you have to play this strong person role. It robs women of the chance to be human, of the chance to rest. It makes us feel guilty for struggling. It glamorizes burnout and mama martyrdom, like we sacrifice everything because we're the mother, okay? But exhaustion is not something we should be wearing as a badge of honor. We know the dangers of driving whilst tired, but yet we navigate through our life more exhausted than not. It's time to take off them capes and exchange them for PJs and bonnets. Where's my bonnet? Where is my bonnet? I'll find my bonnet. So, running with this whole hero analogy, like, you know, I've realised that when it comes to the way we show up in life, especially as women who have been conditioned to be the strong one, we actually fall into like 3 hero category types, and none of them are as glamorous as they sound. Now me, I love a good bit of hero action, you know, whether it's your Marvel or your DC or some shonen anime. Hello anime fans, that's basically Japanese animation, normally geared towards boys. Lots of action, fights, hype, etc. Think Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, etc. Yes, my inner blood is showing, I do apologise, leave me be. I like what I like, even at my big old age. Anyway, within those shows we can find different types of heroes. So let us run through some of them. We have the lone hero, okay? Think Batman. So you have the lone hero. He's talented, resourceful, incredibly capable, always doing way too much though, especially on his own. No superpowers, just vibes and trauma, yeah. And sometimes we actually live like in Batman mode. We don't ask for help, we don't delegate, we carry all the emotional load, the mental load, the housework load, the workload load, every kind of load there is, okay? And then we tell ourselves, I'm fine, I got this. Yeah, I got this. And the truth is, Batman is exhausted, okay? He tired, right? He tired chasing Joker. Okay, he tired. Okay, and so are we. Yes. Okay, what's next? We've got the team hero. Think the Avengers, X-Men energy, you know? You've got these guys, Avengers, X-Men, Fantastic Four, groups. They bring their own strengths. One person doesn't carry the full story. So imagine if life were like that for women. A world where support was normal. A world where asking for help doesn't feel like a failure. A world where you weren't the default parent, the default organizer, the default fixer, the default therapist, the default scheduler, emotional sponge, yada 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 yada. Team heroes understand something that we don't always give ourselves the chance or the permission to accept. So we're not meant to do everything alone. But for so many of us, stepping out of Superwoman mode is about stepping into Avengers energy, as in building support instead of being the support. You see it though? Okay. Last but not least, we've got the reluctant hero. For my anime fans out here, we're looking at Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. Okay, this is my favorite category. So Zenitsu never wants to fight. He's scared, he's overwhelmed, he's crying every 5 minutes, he's insisting that he can't do it. But life keeps throwing him into situation after situation where he has no choice but to step up. And when he does, usually he's unconscious, but when he does, he reveals this insane power. Like, he acts like it's like he doesn't know he's got it, do you know what I mean? And honestly, this is like so many women I know. We didn't ask to be strong, okay? We didn't sign up to be the backbone of the family, the emotional caregiver, the reliable one, but life put the cape on us anyway. And we've learned to rise to every crisis, even when we were terrified, even when we were exhausted, even when we were quietly falling apart. But here's the thing. Brilliance shouldn't only come out when you're pushed to the edge. Zenitsu reminds us that surviving is not the same as thriving. Whether you've been Batman or Honorary Avenger or Zenitsu, against your will, the real message is this: you don't have to be Superwoman anymore. Strength doesn't mean carrying everything. Strength is choosing what matters and letting the rest go. So in a world full of troubles, be an Elsa and let it go. Okay, you see what I did there. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the invisible labor, because with every hero you have a villain, right? So the villain in this, the antagonist in this, goes around causing destruction, havoc and pain, and in most cases just because they're a little bit out there, do you know what I mean? They're a bit twisted, they're doing it for the kicks, okay? They have no real reason, they just want to. Creepy stuff. But anyway, when it comes to us, what is the real villain? That is invisible labor, right? Invisible labor, the things we don't usually see but can definitely feel. So it's the emotional labor, it's the mental load, it's the household management, it's the scheduling, reminder and organizing, it's the being the fixer, the dependable one, the shoulder, the sounding board, all of those things. Like, until I had children, I didn't have to think that much, okay? Like, I could roll out of bed and get ready for work, no problem. But with kids, the younger they are, the more gear, gizmos and gadgets you need to bring with you. Parent math is literally knowing you can get ready in 30 minutes, but then factor in the age of your child, how long it takes to get them ready, how long it takes to change them again, because they're definitely going to be a mess as you walk out the door, plus the time it takes you to feed them, because of course they're also going to be hungry when you are about to leave. So if you need to get somewhere for 3 p.m, leave yesterday. Better yet, stay home, cancel. Say you can't make it without the paragraph of explanation. If you don't understand what I mean, go check out the last episode. But just from that example alone, it is a lot. Maybe you find yourself being the one that remembers all the important dates, all the birthdays, prepping all the gifts, managing all the invites. Or are you everyone's favourite agony aunt, managing everyone else's feelings despite your inner turmoil that you are keeping bottled up. Okay, perhaps you're the default parent. Okay, you know them ones where there's a whole parent doing not much, yet your child will bypass them to find you, and of course you're cooking, cleaning, writing a report, taking a phone call while bursting for the loo. Okay, and if it's not that, it's like family drama, you're there being referred to. Like, there's always something chaotic brewing at work as well, and of course that's going to come and land right on your desk too. This is the stuff that drains us, the stuff that we don't even realize is more work than actually work. Okay, at the end of the day, what we need to remember is that overperforming is not a strength. Let me address my high functioning sisters real quick. Sis, I see you. I see you. Okay, I see you. You're dazzling because you're brilliant, but sometimes it's because you're burning out. Okay, people rely on you because you make it look so easy. But are you really okay, sis? Like, are you really okay? Doing everything doesn't mean you can handle everything. And let's get real. This tendency to overperform usually stems from some internal struggle or insecurity that we have, like, you know, which you probably haven't addressed even a little bit. A lot of the time, it's some kind of trauma response. You know, if I don't do it, everything will fall apart, or it won't be done right, and it won't be done at all. But sis, it's okay. Put it down. Okay, put down the world. Take off your bra. Remove your shoes. Grab a drink. Okay. Strength is not found in carrying everything. Strength is found in choosing what matters and letting the rest be. Okay? So what we should be doing instead is resting. Okay? As I said before, you don't have to wear a cape all the time. PJs and bonnets can still be a hero costume. Okay? Because rest is not a reward. It's a right. It's a beautiful right. It's a privilege. Okay, you don't have to be on the brink of burnout and then say, whew, now I can rest. Nah, sis, rest with a plan, rest with intention. See rest as a strategy to your success, getting through the day, week, month, or year. Okay, so as much as I said in the beginning, I'm not your superwoman, you do know we still have superpowers, right? Yes. A real power. A real power. Legit, okay? And that is the power of discernment, not endurance. It's knowing what to do and when. It's knowing when to hold on and when to let go, when to stop and when to start, when to heave and when to hold. You get the drift, okay? Because the truth is, when we're in rest, the world benefits, okay? Because we're not running on empty anymore. You know, we're not hoping we can make it to the next petrol station before we break down, okay? Instead, because we have rest with purpose and intention, we have more for ourselves and more for others. So, just like we spoke about in the Soft Life episode, choosing ease is self-leadership, not laziness, okay? When done right. So, are you ready to take off the cape? Let's take a moment just to put some of this into practice. Okay, I want you to think about the cape you're wearing. Okay, what does it have on it? What are you happy to carry? What would you like to drop? What would you like to shake off? Are you a reluctant hero? Like, what responsibilities were never yours to carry, but you feel forced to kind of step up anyway? What about your team? Who's in your corner? Who is your co-star? Or are you really looking to walk this life like some lone hero a little bit longer? Maybe it's as simple as asking a friend or family member to watch your kids for an hour. Maybe it's getting your kids involved with age-appropriate chores. Maybe it's delegating tasks you keep because, you know, you're worried it won't be done right, you know, but sis, trust me, they won't learn if you don't give them a chance. It's just, that's just how it is, okay? So, reflection time. I like reflection. Have you noticed? Okay. So here's a couple of reflective points for you to reflect on, to drive this all home. Okay. What am I carrying that no one asked me to carry? Where am I rescuing people who could rescue themselves? If I was to put down the cape, how would I be? So wrapping it up and sticking a pretty little bow on it, we are done here. Okay. I really hope though you don't enjoy this episode. I was gonna sing, but I changed my mind. Okay, just go find the song, go listen to the song. But anyway, I hope you've been reminded that as strong as you are and as super as you are, you don't need to go it alone, and you don't need to go at it all the time. Okay, you just don't. Not all heroes wear capes. Sometimes we wear bonnets and PJs, okay, and onesies. You deserve to rest. You deserve support. It's not kryptonite. Don't be scared to go anywhere near it, okay? Make sure you tune in for our next diary entry though, okay? I'm hoping it'll be great, because this one has been too. I'm sure you believe me. But anyway, until next time, stay fabulous, and I'll see you on the next entry.